Hi guys, this is Faye again. Getting some very fun feedback from my video this morning about what a brand is and the importance of having a unique value proposition and idea of your identity coming behind that and why that's so important. Um, it's been really fun though to see that there's still kind of some mystery out there about what the idea of a brand actually is and how marketers achieve that and what a brand is supposed to be a vehicle for. So I think that you guys get that branding is a springboard of sorts, and I know I've used that reference before, but we haven't really talked about where branding comes from or what a brand is actually defined as being. And more importantly, how that's different from being a trademark. And the difference between a trademark and a brand is it's pretty important. So when we say that there's brand equity involved or that a specific company has earned a lot of brand equity, what we're really talking about is, again, a continuation of that idea of branding, whereas a trademark is really just the logo or the visuals or sometimes specific words or a tagline that goes into part of branding, right? So if we have branding up here, branding is the overall ideal, right, that we are trying to support, the overall message. And a lot of that really comes back to this two-way interaction of how customers perceive a brand. So I would say that as marketers, there's a lot of us being very reactive and responsive to our communities and to the clients and to the overall customers rather than us forcing things down someone's throat. I would say that if you're looking at information or messaging being spoon-fed to someone, that's much more the idea of advertising than it is the idea of marketing. And we can get into, in another video, the difference between marketing and advertising, but for today we're just going to focus on branding. So the trademark is kind of the logo, the visuals, the words that go behind, right, as a support for the brand, where the idea of a brand itself is going to be much bigger than that. It's going to have some emotions involved. It's going to have values and ideals involved. It's going to support a specific type of lifestyle, right? So if we think about REI or Lower Bar or Cliff Bar or any of those, they're going to be promoting an outdoor lifestyle. They're talking about participating in outdoor activities. They're encouraging you to be outdoors and to be more holistic and to be involved, right? And they encourage a lot of community involvement as an extension of this idea of being involved in the world around us, right? It's not just a cute little snack bar, it's this whole idea that goes behind it. Same thing for like the Pillsbury Doughboy, right? When a lot of people think about the Pillsbury Doughboy, you think, oh gosh, like pictures of grandma and pictures of Thanksgiving and this idea of family togetherness and family time and kind of more traditional family values. And that's what we're talking about when we mean a brand. So Pillsbury is a brand, but if I were to look at the actual logo of Pillsbury, that wouldn't be a brand, okay? So when we look at the Pillsbury Doughboy, that's really kind of this personification of what this brand idea, this brand set of values is trying to communicate and express to us. So when we're talking about you being your own brand, it's not just saying, well, gosh, Faye, you've got your own logo, you've got your own website, you do whatever, blah, 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 your online portfolio. It's about you standing for something. It's about you communicating these ideals or these passions or these values and this lifestyle. So really creating a very full, flushed out picture. And whether that's for you as an individual or whether that's for your entire company, that's what a brand is trying to communicate. Now, originally, brand equity would be doing this over a period of several years, right? So we'd be, during that time as consumers, receiving different ads and looking at lots of different commercials, and you start building up a relationship over time with this brand of like, gosh, I know that Tide does a great job. It's not just that they've got great commercials that I can relate to because I'm a mom with 4 kids and yeah, I really want some clean laundry that's pretty important in my life. It's also like, gosh, every time I've bought them, it really has seemed to be worth that experience of using them in my life. And gosh, I feel good about associating with the ideals and the concepts that are associated with being a Tide mom, or of being someone who gets their house, clean to Tide's level of what they communicate as being a Tide-friendly home. So that's part of what you want to communicate in a brand, is building up this idea over time with consistent messaging, consistent product delivery, of being trustworthy, of communicating that value over and over and over again, of communicating the same values over and over and over again, right? So if we look at Pillsbury as being kind of this representative of traditional family values and being representative of family time together at the dinner table, it would be unlike them, and it would be a separation from their brand message to then be putting out freezer dinner meals for singles, right? Unless it's about trying to recapture the idea of having that family meal by yourself at home when you don't have another option or something like that, right? But it's not going to be the same sort of idea as it would be if it were like freezer meals for a whole family. Or gosh, here's a new line of ready-made frozen biscuits that, mom or dad or whoever can throw in the oven or throw in the microwave real fast. And now you've got the same feeling as that traditional Thanksgiving type family dinner or special Sunday family type dinner that we hold in our, American collective consciousness. And so that's a component of it too, is looking at how does your brand's message feed back into the society and culture around you. So in my previous couple of messages, videos with you guys, I had mentioned the self-reference criterion and how important it is to move past that. And we do this, again, very unconsciously more often than not, of really wanting to refer to our own collective history or collective culture as a society and saying, well, yeah, I mean, I get it. I'm American, so it's all about baseball and apple pie and Sunday dinners and this, that, and the other, and we've got this idea of what it means to be American, which is very different from the idea of what it would be to be Irish, or the idea of what it would be to be Indian, or the idea of what it would be to be Australian, and looking at all of these different ideas together. So that's something that's really important too, is when we're talking about marketing yourself to different groups who don't necessarily have the same values that you do, is there a way, or maybe not even the same values, but the same experiences, maybe the same perspective on similar values, because you're obviously going to be a lot more effective marketing to someone, which is really just communicating. So communicating to someone your value and what you perceive to be your strengths as a brand, right? So we're getting bigger than just a name now, we're getting bigger than just a logo, but we're communicating these ideas of what I offer and these ideas of what it feels like to experience an ongoing relationship with me as an individual. This is the beauty of building a brand now that we're getting into, is that we're building a relationship and we're building a set of regular, consistent perceptions through ongoing experiences and ongoing relationships that encourage someone to have ever increasingly deepening relationships with us, right? We want them to be consistently looking at becoming more loyal advocates or becoming loyal return shoppers, becoming someone who really is willing to be an advocate for our brand values. So again, coming back to the values of who we are, what we offer, what we provide, and then different cultures or different marketing segments are going to have different ways of perceiving those values or different ways of communicating those values. And so when we're talking about ourselves as a brand, right, this is no different than the idea of I'm the same person, I've got the same skill sets, but every time I apply for a job, I am really dialing down my resume for each job and really highlighting my value based upon what they have given me as their needs. It's the exact same thing. We are doing the exact same thing. So whether it's you being a personal brand and trying to launch that, or whether it's you launching a brand as a company or as a product or service, we're going to be dialing into the needs of that specific segment and then communicating our value through that to project out and leverage out something bigger than what we are. So I'm limited in my capacity as an individual, as one human being on this planet, to express my value. But if I latch into an idea and a set of values and experiences and perceptions, that then becomes much larger than someone's interactions with me. So I hope that clarifies things a little bit. We'll keep talking more about how to build equity as a brand and what that looks like and how that's changed over history, because it has dramatically, just even in the last 10 years. So we'll keep deepening this conversation as much as you guys are interested. I love delving into this with you. So you guys have a great day, and I will look forward to talking with you soon.